And if you're shooting him, and he's bending over from bullets, you know, and falling forward.
You've been down too if you
that's
got
going
shot.
to give the trajectory of the bullet, like, yeah, he was going forward.
Right.
Because he was falling.
Right. Right.
But these people, oh, it was proven. You sound like a fool. Nobody goes and police pull up on, and that boy is going to try and grab the officer's gun. Bull crap. Bull crap. That boy wasn't no criminal like that. That boy was a young boy. Just because he was big and you fear the black man. And then this one was a real big dude. He was a young kid, man. That boy ain't have a brain in his head yet. And he wasn't a criminal like that. He wasn't, yeah, he did little mischievous stuff. Just like little white boys do little mischievous stuff. I mean, the white boy who raped the girl behind the garbage can. Oh, well, the judge said for him, the white judge, oh, well, you know, he just did a little wrong, so just let him serve 3 months, 6 months in jail. Terrible. Well, he already served 3 months, so let him get out in 3 months.
Or the white kid who shot up the church.
Yeah. You know, all those people,
totally
we look at them different.
Totally fine.
But this boy going to the store and he doing some regular bullying.
Right.
That kids do. And now you're going to try and put on him, this boy, you know what it takes for somebody to run up on a cop and then try and take the cop gun and this and that? No, I believe Darren Wilson, that faggot, was sitting up there he harassed them kids because he knew nothing about the little cigarettes or whatever they stole.
Right.
He knew nothing about that. He was harassing those kids, doing what he was doing, and like the boy said, he tried to assault the boy. So he was defending himself, and then he ran away from you, and then you start shooting him down. But they believe it. They believe this stuff so much. They're like, oh no, this is what it is. You know, and it's like, how stupid are you?
I don't even know if they actually believe it, but I simply believe that it's that whole, I'm just gonna convince myself that this is what happened because I can't stand to see you go down because we're supposed to be on the same side. So I'm not even, because no man can be that dumb. I mean, come on, seriously. No man can be that.
You got people in this country that believe that Mike Brown was attacking this guy. Trust me, they are convinced. Once the report came out, oh yeah, he had to been attacking him or no evidence of this. The evidence they have is bull crap. He was coming forward. If I was falling forward and you shot me, it's gonna show the same evidence. What does it show? What speed I was going at? Did you get that out, the evidence? You want to be so bright? So, you know, but they believe it. I'll show you how much they believe it now.
Joining me now with reaction, D.L. Hughley, actor, radio host, and author of Black Man, White House, an oral history of the Obama years. D.L., thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I didn't know Mark Furman was going to be here.
What did you make of it? Because you were shaking your head.
I think that cops will have a different perspective than us, and I think it was interesting to hear Mark Furman, who was actually got in trouble for perjuring himself, called somebody a liar. It's ridiculous to me.
But what do you make of the fact that she had inconsistencies in her story?
I think the cop had inconsistencies in his too. To me.
So then you let the evidence play out.
Here's my problem. It is my belief that no matter what happens, no matter what we see, the cops are given a presumption of innocence. If that same tape showed a suspect doing something, that would be all the prosecution would need. And they would say the evidence is all right here. But a cop gets a presumption of innocence that is, no matter what they see, we can see somebody getting shot to death. They go, we don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened after. I know this, that in a state, in both these states, a lot of men in Louisiana, 47% of people carry guns. Men carry guns. So men having guns on them can't be that unusual. Why wasn't the first question, rather than assuming, do you have a permit for that? Those are states that you can carry a gun.
But you're making assumptions because we don't know what happened. What we have right now is her testimonial, which doesn't capture the actual event. Do we know whether she's credible? Do we know whether...
We know this. We know he had a permit to carry a gun.
But that doesn't answer any of the questions.
That absolutely answers the question.
If he pulled the firearm on the officer, if he didn't disclose it, if the officer felt threatened...
Why on earth would you... Here's what we do know. He had a permit to carry a gun. When you get a permit to carry a gun, they tell you exactly how to act when a police officer pulls you over.
That doesn't mean he didn't threaten the officer.
You're willing to give them a presumption of innocence.
I'm not giving them a presumption. Well, the law gives them the presumption of innocence.
No, they're bad.
I'm saying we don't know the facts. I mean, we saw this happen with Michael Brown and Ferguson.
And we still don't know the facts there. We have a police officer's word and a grand jury's word.
No, we have the Department of Justice's word.
The Department of Justice shut down Ferguson. Ferguson had to be shut down because it was so corrupt.
The Department of Justice found that the police there had endemic racism. They found that.
Right.
But they also exonerated Officer Darren Wilson.
That's not a...
And they found hands up, don't shoot was a lie.
Let me ask you something.
And that Michael Brown was the aggressor.
Wow. Here's what I'll say.
Don't wow me.
Don't tell me not to wow you. I can say wow if I want to, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. They found systemic racism, right? So it's unbelievable. They also found systemic racism, and we know that Darren Wilson left the department because it was so racist it had to be disbanded, and he went to Ferguson, another department that is rife with racism.
So that makes him a racist.
Absolutely. You know, I have no problem.
Michael Brown grabbed that officer's gun and tried to shoot him in his patrol car.
That is, no one has proven that.
That's what Eric Holder's DOJ concluded.
And Eric Holder's DOJ concluded that department was so rife with
That's a dodge.
corruption.
I already conceded that, DL. We're talking about Michael Brown and the lie
let's be clear.
Of hands up, don't shoot.
I don't dodge at all. I'm here in Fox News.
Then let's stay on it. Then let's stay on Michael Brown.
We're talking about
We're talking about
I'm not talking. No, woman. I'm not trying to get out of bounds.
You don't dodge. Then let's stay in bounds.
We were talking about the young man that just got murdered in Minnesota.
And the rush to judgment and the assumption you know something when you don't actually know it.
First off, what I'll tell you is this. It is not uncommon for you all to see one thing. The only place racism doesn't exist is Fox News and the police department. That's the only place. That's absolutely true.
That's insulting. You just insulted millions of people watching this channel.
And you know what? I'm insulted by the things I hear on this network, so we're even. I could care less about insulting people that insult me on a daily basis.
You're making a point that is, before the insults, the point you started to make is true, and we can talk about that whites perceive the situation when it comes to these
I think a lot of people on this network have never seen a black man that anything deserved it.
Could you hold the insults for a second so we can have a productive conversation? You were going to make the points that whites see certain incidents differently than blacks do, and we saw that in the O.J. Simpson case when the verdict came down. I'll give you that. Most reasonable people will give you that. But you know what shuts down all reasonable dialogue is throwing out the term racism before it's been proven.
You know what's, first off, I'll say this. I believe that there is a benefit of the doubt given to police officers that's not given to anybody else. And maybe, obviously they do a tough job. You can't, in 2006, the FBI came out with a report that said that police departments were rife with white supremacists. Said it, not me. So why wouldn't I believe if I know that? I don't know a black man that hasn't had a run-in with a police officer from the highest to the lowest.
So you've been backed up on that by many people.
My perception of this is based on the experience I've had, just like yours are. So I am not willing to give them a benefit of the doubt. I have seen a lot of things. I lived in the city that Mark Furman policed that also had to be taken over by the federal government.
It's very dangerous when you get to the point where you paint with an entire group with the same brush based on the bad actions of a few.
That is amazing to hear on this network. That really is.
DL.
That really is. Amazing to hear on this network. The only place racism
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Wow. Okay, you win. Because she truly believed that, and she believes a whole lot of other things, and for her to make the dumb remark of, him painting, a group of people with the same brush, she was one of those people simply because of the remarks that she made, simply because of what she said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like she tried to take herself out of the equation after she'd already made these dumb remarks.
Yeah. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That's how they think. They're convinced that, she was ready to fight him on that. that Mike Brown deserved what he got.
That was terrible.
And only the Father knows really what happened.
Right.
But in my common sense, you understand what I'm saying? Because that what she doing right now is not common sense. The boy ran away from him, and he was shooting at them. And even the bullets showed that the boy had to get shot when he was running in like one of his arms. That made him turn around because he was in open terrain, and he knew it. This guy is shooting him. He's like, hey, man, hey, okay, you done hit me. So I'm going to turn around, and I'm giving up. But this clown was so fearful of his life. His mind was so heightened. You understand what I'm saying? He was gone. And it's unfortunate that Mike Brown didn't know that. Just like it's unfortunate that Philando didn't know what this clown, when he pulled up on him with a gun, in the state of mind that they're in. Because they are at such a heightened state, and they got their finger on the trigger. A scared man will shoot you.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the same thing happened to Mike Brown. When he turned around, he thinking, but this the clown move. The boy's so far away from you, dude. You that scary? You that much of a coward? He turned around. So even if you're saying he's coming back at you, I'm sure the boy turned around, because even his homeboy say he put his hands up, but it just don't make sense. Even white people, come on, man, use your brain. Why would he run from a man with a gun, and then all of a sudden his mind click, and he turns around, okay, I'm going to attack him with this gun shooting at me. And he done hit me one time. You know, because a bullet will change your mind.
Right. Right.
This is the foolishness that they ask us to believe. But one thing, I don't want, you know, us to get into, you know, arguing with each other. Because I see Snoop Dogg and Game and LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade and all these guys, Alicia Keys, and, you know, all these people are coming out speaking, and they have different views.
Yeah.
It's like I seen what David Banner and Life Jennings they had different views. David Banner was coming from the point, hey, we need to get guns, and we need to start busting back. Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
But and Life with Jennings, he was like, nah, that ain't what we need to do.
Yeah.
And he got upset, you know, with him, because you ain't, you know, finna be trying to teach us and tell these people that and yada yada.
Right. Right.
But it just led to a point where those two came at odds with each other, and that didn't help the situation that we're both fighting for.
Right.
You know? I'm not saying that it's right to go out and kill innocent people.
Right.
So I don't agree with that. But what I will say is the same way that they look at those people were innocent people that got killed.
Right.
And soon as those cops got killed, then the whole verbiage changed, because now it was like, oh, they were ambushed.
Right.
They were. Well, let me tell you something. When those cops are just pulling a black man over because he's black and looking to fill their quota, to make their quota, that's an ambush. Those guys got killed in an ambush.
Right.
But you see, this whole country is just so backwards and slimy that they will sit up and call that an ambush, but they won't call this a heinous and a crime as an ambush. Because when the cops got killed, oh, it was an ambush. It was so cowardly. That's cowardly too. When you pull somebody over just because you're trying to fill your quota and the black man is the easy target.
Right.
You go hang out in his neighborhood because he's the easy target.
That's terrible.
That's an ambush.